Hello all sentient beings and welcome to the Transmissions Podcast, where we talk all Hasbro, Takara, and third-party Transformers! On this episode of Transmissions, we check out an improved Evasion Mode Optimus Prime. Dr. Wu releases a batch of weapons for your Hasbro figures, and we check out an upgrade kit for Abominus and Starscream. Today is Wednesday, August 8th, 2018, and this is episode 289 of Transmissions.
Welcome to Transmissions, the podcast that's gonna start a Transformers-style Monopoly game at McDonald's. And the first winner will be Daryl's brother's cousin's former roommate. I'm your host, Charles, aka Big C, and I'm joined by the excellent Transmissions team. Yusuf, better known as Yoshi.
I'm personally hurt, but yo.
Jeremy, aka Yakko.
Hey, how you doing?
And Daryl, the Cybertronian Beast.
Hey, how's it going? Let's talk Transformers.
All right, why are you hurt, Yoshi?
Because you left off the lefty five fingers. That was my one contribution to this bit. You just fucking rolled right past it.
He has 97% voting stake.
Yo, I'm acutely aware of that.
The intro already depends on you having read an article about McDonald's.
You don't have
Monopoly.
to provide. You don't have to provide an excuse. What you say is law. I'm hurt. That's all.
All right, let's move on and talk about some donations. For some reason, we got a huge influx of Patreons this week. I wonder why. They all came before July 31st. That was weird.
It's nice to know that everyone up until this point is going to remain a Patreon from now until infinity. I'm glad these people aren't just wanting to see if they win the prize and then duck out, because that would speak about their character. And we already have their email address, so we can let all their friends and relatives know that about them.
Okay, Yoshi is our stick, but here's the carrot. It's a nice podcast. Maybe just hang out for a couple of months, see if you like it. All right. Well, thank you. Regardless of your reason for donating, we do appreciate it. So thank you to Joseph, Owen, Heather, Kyle, Michael, Charlotte, and this person I know is a true blue donatron because he's been with us for a while. It's Edward, and you might know him better as Karuba. We've read a lot of comments from him over the years. He's been a listener and commenter since episode 1, and he has come into the fold as a duly appointed supporter of the Transmissions podcast. So welcome, Karuba.
Wait, so he was the download in episode 1?
No, he started from episode 1. He started.
No, so he was the download for that episode.
Oh yes, he was the one download. That's right. Yes. He's the OG Transmissions listener. He's the reason we had an episode 2. So thank you guys for joining up. We wish you all luck in the upcoming grand 5-year mega contest. We have, now that we've had the cutoff date for all the contest entries, and our Donatreon count stands at, combining our Patrons and our PayPal supporters, it stands at 99 Donatreons. So you have a 5 in 99 chance to win a prize.
Well, no, how many of those get the extra thing for being duly appointed?
Oh, that's true. Yeah. So some people have a better chance.
But the real thing is we're one away from Declassified being available for everybody.
That is true. Yes.
And
so,
I'm sure that's going to happen next month. We're just going to get that one more Donatreon supporter and not lose anybody, and it's just, we're going to hit that 100.
Remind everybody what they get when we hit 100.
The Declassified show becomes something that will be on a regular RSS feed for everybody.
And how many episodes in are we?
11, I think.
That's right. So for all you people who are, I know you aren't thinking of it, but maybe you're considering leaving after this month and the contest is over, you might want to stick around just long enough so you can get access to all these shows. It's worth it.
Well, no, they already have access to it.
Oh, that's true. Never mind.
Yeah. I just
work here.
For all of you that did join up, go to Patreon, look for that RSS link, and you can get access to all of the declassified episodes we've done, Just load it into your RSS reader and binge them. If we get one more, it'll be open to everybody. Donatrons will still get it first, but then it would be open to everybody.
So everyone who hasn't done it, hope that nobody leaves.
No one's going to leave.
But thank you, everyone, for your support. We really appreciate it, and good luck in the contest. I think we're still going to announce it next week, so look forward to that. All right, let's get into some toy news.
So I made a tweet earlier this week, and it was about a figure that we kind of skipped last week, and didn't think I'd get an opportunity to talk about it, but here it is, because it's a slow news week. This is the Takara Tommy Voyager Optimus Prime figure from the Bumblebee movie. It is basically the Evasion Mode Optimus Prime last night. Or sorry, not from last night, from Age of Extinction, and but it's bigger, and a little bit of changes have been made to it. This is kind of neat because the Evasion Mode Optimus Prime was highly regarded as one of the best figures from Age of Extinction, and a neat transformation for the Optimus Prime figure, because you can't really transform an over-the-cab truck too many times, or so many different ways before you kind of have to start repeating them. And really, it's been done the same way with slight variations a lot of times. So they basically redesigned the entire transformation and turned it into a movie style Prime. Now, this one here, like I said, is bigger. They've really gone and done the G1 coloring on it that make it look like the 80s kind of style Prime. Only difference is that you're really not getting an 80s style head. You're still getting that movie style head on him. But I'm sure there's going to be some kind of add-on kit or some way to change it. They did a comparison, I showed a bit of a comparison as well in my tweet. I'm just going to bring my tweet up here because it shows it really well. It's the Evasion Mode Optimus Prime comes up to like the shoulder of this new one. Actually, a little bit lower than that. It comes up to about the chest, the middle of the chest of this one. So it's quite a lot shorter. So if you've got that Voyager out there, the Evasion Mode, the original Evasion Mode Optimus Prime out there, you can definitely upgrade this one here, even though this one is still being called a Voyager, even though it's so much bigger. One of the things that I mentioned is that they did seem to remold a part, and that is the arms. The arms seem to be really different. They still assumingly transform in the same way, which would have to make sense because the transformation doesn't appear to be any different. But as far as the rest of the toy goes, it really does look very similar. Not a lot has changed. Guys, did anybody actually, other than me, get the Evasion Mode Optimus Prime figure from Age of Extinction?
I did not.
Nope.
All right. I'm assuming Yoshi skipped it as well.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Uh-huh.
It did appear in a 2-pack where you could get this figure and the Classics Optimus Prime, which was also, it was decent. It was pretty good. Probably another one of the best Optimus Primes that have been done. Would this interest you, knowing it's coming from another movie now and being a little bigger? Would you want to get maybe take a second shot at it?
I gotta say, this does really look nice. I mean, the coloring looks good. It looks like it. If I go back to 2006, what I would have liked to have seen in a live action movie design of Optimus Prime. It's an update from the G1 character, but it still maintains kind of a classic aesthetic.
Okay.
I mean, it's still the head sculpt is still a little iffy for me, but I like this figure. And yeah, I mean, maybe if I saw it in the store on an impulse buy, I might pick it up.
Mm-hmm.
Do we have any word whether this is coming to the States? It looks like it's just the Takara release here.
This is just the Takara design, but in the past, when they designed something for the movie line, it's pretty much straight swappable for the Hasbros as well. The only thing that might be different would be paint, which would kind of suck because this is really nice. we don't know a lot of the line for the Bumblebee movie. Only what they showed at San Diego Comic-Con there. But I think it looks really good. The paint, like you said, is gorgeous. Yoshi, Charles touched on something there that was really interesting. If you can take yourself back to pre-2007 and you can imagine the world that's going to be a live action Transformers movie, in your head, are you imagining the animation models just turned into real things, or are you imagining something that looks a little different?
That's what I hoped for.
Okay.
That's really what I hope for.
So something like this is still too much change for you.
You know, if I look at the alt mode, I'm not at all upset, I don't think, with the alt mode. You know, we're looking at it on a box package in the background. From there, I'm pretty comfortable with that. But the rest of it to me is just a hot mess. And you got to remember, I mean, they're not marketing at me. You know, that's what the third version of the Masterpiece is. They're marketing to me with that. They're not marketing to me with.
Yeah.
I agree with you. I think the colors are a lot nicer. I'm glad the flames are gone. And I agree with Charles. The head sculpt is a bit much along with everything else. I don't know. When you're a kid and you fall in love with the G1 Transformers, it just kind of makes sense how the arms pop out and how the legs form. And this, I'm looking at it. I'm looking at this, Daryl, and I don't see how that flat-nosed truck is in there.
Mm-hmm.
It'll be fun to see this thing transform. I hope that you can fiddle with one in front of me in Chicago and I can see it, but I'm not putting it together in my head.
I did a review on the Evasion Mode Optimus Prime back when I did reviews.
That's on your YouTube channel, right?
It is, back when I did those things, and YouTube was a thing that paid me money.
Right.
This figure folds inside out completely. So the truck pieces are on the inside, and the robot mode is on the outside when it's in robot mode, and vice versa. It completely folds, inside on itself. Quite an interesting transformation. If you're looking at the picture of the truck mode in the background there, and you see through the windshields, you see the two red blobs in the windshields.
Yes. Right.
Those are his arms. The arms are actually on the top of the truck.
Gotcha.
And they fold out of that, and it's a really interesting transformation when you're doing it, in hand, and you're like, this goes where, and the head is what? All right, and it's very cool. It's an interesting puzzle. Yeah. Jeremy, taking a look at this, did you have any interest in picking up a movie Prime throughout the years?
Not before this.
Okay, so this interests you.
This does. Like Charles said, the colors are really good on this. I like the fact that it actually has Autobot logos, which I think the previous Evasion Mode didn't, or at least if it did, it wasn't on the shoulder like it should be.
Right.
They're doing the best they can with this movie toy to pull on the strings that would interest me in the toy. I mean, the colors are spot on. It's a well-reviewed toy. It's bigger. Did it have the same number of wheels on the smaller one? Because in that comparison shot, it looked like the whip or the hip had like one less wheel.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah, I think. Well, I mean, the truck only has the 6 wheels on the side.
Okay, so maybe it was just the new transformation makes it more visible.
Yeah, it may be.
But I think that looks good. My biggest complaint about all of the movie Primes is the feet just look horrible. But what are you going to do? Yeah, I mean, this is something that I would consider picking up.
Cool. Something else that is interesting to note about the Evasion Mode Optimus Prime mold is that the smaller one anyway, and I'm sure that they may offer this again if they get the opportunity, is that DX9 did an upgrade set for the original one. They turned it into a really cool looking Jinrai. I'm going to throw up an image here of it. I did end up getting this upgrade kit for my original Evasion Mode Optimus Prime, and it looks phenomenal. And I really hope that if this thing starts coming out and becomes very prevalent, DX9 will offer this set again in a larger scale, obviously, because it looks gorgeous on that Evasion Mode Optimus Prime mold. But yeah, other than that, that's all I got this week, guys. Jeremy, did you find anything
Do you guys remember in the 80s there were those little die-cast G1 figures? I think they're primarily Takara things, but I definitely remember seeing them as a kid. Takara is coming out with new versions of these. They're between 5 and 10 centimeters tall, and they are G1 Optimus Prime, Bumblebee, and Megatron in this first release, and they're going to cost about $9 a piece. They also are going to have Autobot and Decepticon insignias you can get, and this is all die-cast. Yoshi, does this pull on your G1 heartstrings?
It does. I don't think these are transformable, correct?
No, they're not. They're just little die-cast metal figures.
This is one of those things, like if I see it in the store, it is an impulse buy. I don't even think. I was just like, oh, I have to have it. And I do that with a lot of things that are branded G1. It's mostly anymore. It's like T-shirts.
Duct tape.
Duct tape. This is not something I need. This is not something I feel like would round off my collection. And because of that, that's not something I'm going to seek out. If I see it in the store, I'm going to be like, here, Hasbro, I'm voting with my dollar. Know that I want more shit like this.
Daryl, what about you? If you run into this at a TFCon, is this going to be a purchase?
I don't know. It's probably not. They're too small for me. They remind me a lot of the decoys that that used to come in the packages with the G1 figures, the carded stuff. And there's a lot of those out there. So I mean,
yeah,
they weren't die cast, but they were like rubber, or like eraser rubber.
Yeah,
those are pretty cool. I mean, there's I think there's like 50 or 60 of them out there, like to fully collect a set. But these are neat. Something that's die cast is always like, I don't know if it's a heavy thing to carry around. I just place it somewhere and then I'd lose it or I'd break it or something. But it's yeah, they're neat. They look good. I mean, if these CAD models of them actually come out looking like that, it look good.
Charles, what about you?
Yeah, I mean, this is not something I'd seek out, like Yoshi said, but I mean, for something to go on my desk at work as paperweights, that might be something nice.
I'd like to have an Autobot logo paperweight.
Yeah, yeah. The logos are something I would be more interested in than the figures, actually. So yeah, if I saw those logos, I think that would be probably a instant buy for me. It looks like, do you get both logos in one set? It looks like
that's what I'm thinking. I mean, this is all in Japanese, so who knows? Yeah. But personally, I think these would be perfect to go with the train set I got that I still haven't put together.
Yeah,
because it came with like these generic Autobots and Decepticons.
18 of them.
Next thing I have is an upgrade kit from Transform Dreamwave, and this will upgrade Power of the Prime, Abominus, and Starscream. And Starscream is your typical coronation kit for with a crown, a cape. It looks like it is for the combined mode of Starscream though, so that's kind of interesting. The Abominus one is a number of pieces for the individual figures that they add detail. Looks like there's a screaming face that is part of a pre-order special. Daryl, what do you think about this?
I like it. I bought one of the sets from Transform Dreamwave for the Bruticus. I've yet to put it together since I'm kind of waiting on a blast off that I've yet to find. But yeah, I think it looks really good. I like the option with I'd never put together the Starscream kit, but because I don't have the Starscream, I like the option that it comes with an actual cloth cape. I think that looks really nice. Awesome. But
your hands.
Oh yeah, they look great.
Typical stuff.
I did pre-order a set for the Abominus for the hands and the feet, and I think that was $35 from Perfect Effect. So because this is $50, so you're getting the hands and you're getting the feet, but you're also getting a whole new leg assembly for the Hunger. You're getting a chest section. You're getting a head. You're getting guns. You're getting a whole bunch of other stuff. So in my mind, this is a way better deal.
And you said they have good quality stuff.
Yeah. And it looks good too.
Charles and Yoshi, is interest either of you?
Not especially. I mean, it does look cool, but I don't have Abominus, and I'm not getting the Starscream figures either. So I don't have the figures that would require these upgrade kits.
Something I want to point out about this cloth cape that you guys are in love with that I didn't hear anybody mention is that it looks like it's got wire in it. So you can you can pose the cape in a flowing pattern, or if you want to be really creative, you can do a Doctor Strange, have it punching Starscream. But it does appear like there's some wire there to hold a shape, so you can make it look as epic as you want.
That's really nice.
If you've ever listened to Vangelis on WTF and TFW talk about capes,
Yeah.
he's very particular about his capes, and I think he's mentioned now some capes with wire are done well and some aren't. So I would be wary about this, just on the fact that if you were to bend it too many times and snap it, or something like if you weren't able to get it in the proper position. I don't have capes. I'm not the person to ask about capes. They seem like they could either be fantastic or a nightmare. If you're interested in this, hopefully it works out for you.
Cool. Well, that is everything I got this week. Yoshi, what do you got?
Well, we've got some weapons from Dr. Wu that are for Titan's Return and Power of the Prime's mini-bots and the Titan's Return clones. We have 2 different pairs of guns for the Titan's Return Autobot clones. We got 2 different pairs of guns and some extra pieces to be able to hold them in their beast modes for the Titan's Return Decepticon clones. We've got a gun for the Prime's Beachcomber and a harpoon gun for Titan's Return Sea Spray. 2 guns for Power of the Prime's Windcharger and Tailgate. And right off the bat, I really do dig these because it seems like they really did try to put personality into each weapon. It's not like the same mold used and then just designed to fit for each bot. They definitely gave these weapons personality. Charles, you've got a Beachcomber, don't you?
I do. I have a Beachcomber, a Sea Spray, a Tailgate. I have a bunch of these figures.
So I've got Sea Spray, and I'm digging the harpoon gun.
Yeah, it does look cool. I mean, all the guns look cool for the mini bots. It's nice to have some extra accessories for these guys. It'll to pose them for different things. Although I only have like one Autobot clone. I didn't get any of the other clone figures, so that's it's a little hard to justify the getting all the weapons when you don't have all the figures that use them.
This is very true.
This is a nice set. Do we have a price on these? I think it's just a preview.
Yeah, I'm not seeing a price listed anywhere. Daryl, why couldn't Hasbro throw us a bone and include some decent weapons with these guys?
Probably price point. It's an extra bit. Also, the small scale generally means that it's going to go to somebody who likely was going to lose it, and it's something that they didn't worry about in the past. But most small scale stuff doesn't come with guns anymore. So.
I will point out, though, that Sea Spray does have a little accessory that I think they were calling it like a shield or something.
I call it pizza box.
His pizza box, yeah.
Yeah.
And with War for Cybertron, they are starting to add more weapons. They have the whole cog figure that basically becomes weapons.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It makes me wonder, Jeremy, what Sea Spray's card from the trading card game is going to be, delivering pizza ability or something.
30 minutes or less.
That's right. It's a hovercraft. You should be able to pull it off.
Right. Yeah. I mean, it just goes straight. Who cares about streets or anything? Just straight line.
Yeah.
I think these are great.
Yeah, they look great. But I'm suffering from Charles's problem. I don't own these, so it's kind of a waste of money.
Yeah, but it seems like there's different packs, so you only buy Sea Spray if that's all you got.
I
mean, they're all numbered.
Well, I might have to revisit this then.
Yeah. But I'm wondering, Daryl, when was the last time we saw something from Dr. Wu?
It's been a while. I think I don't know, they may have gotten away and gotten working on something else or yeah. But it's nice to see him back.
So, Charles, what do you have?
I have some stuff. So we got some listings from the Transformers Bumblebee movie. So lots of toys coming out. In particular, this set is all about Energon Igniters and Power Charge Bumblebee. So a bunch of pictures of these new toys coming out. These are more for the kiddies, I think. A little simpler transformation, not as complex. Although I think the Power Charge Bumblebee, it's actually got some electronics, light and sound stuff. So it might be substantial. It says 17 steps to transform. So it's a little bit complex, but I put this in here because I think, with the movie coming out, it's interesting to see what kind of toys they've got here. They do have an Optimus Prime figure, a very simple Optimus Prime figure. Hot Rod, surprisingly. I think we talked about that Hot Rod is in this line, and then the Decepticon drop kick in his car mode, as opposed to was he the helicopter that we saw earlier?
Triple changer.
Yep.
Yeah. So this is. I don't understand why they're doing why they're not. Are they going to release a full triple changer figure for this guy? But
Be a masterpiece.
Studio series. Well, I guess we already have a studio series of the helicopter.
But that Bumblebee, the power charge Bumblebee looks pretty big, at least judging by the kid looks particularly dangerous holding it.
Small kid.
Well, I'm just looking at the one picture of the kid holding it. He's like giving this mean look at the camera, like, yeah, I've got a Bumblebee. I'm cool.
Well, I got bumblebees. I'm cool. Fuck you.
And I guess the whole Energon igniter thing where you put it's kind of like a Power Master gimmick, I guess. You put the little blue plastic thing in their engine and magic stuff happens.
It looks like a power pack, Charles.
It looks to me like you push down on the little gray thing to charge up this little spinning thing inside, and when you put it in there in vehicle mode, it makes the wheels go and it zooms across the room.
Well, I hope the kids enjoy these. I really didn't like Hot Rod from the last night, so I hope he's not in the movie.
Well, he's a muscle car here, so.
Yeah, so Daryl, overall, I mean, what do you think of these guys? Any appeal to these?
It's not for us. This is, like you said at the start, this is the kids' stuff. I often look at the kids' stuff and think, I look back on what I bought as a kid fondly because it was fun. I can see kids having fun with this, but I can also see them getting bored with it really fast. I wanna look at the kids' stuff in the aisles and think, yeah, I know that that's not for me, but I also want them to look back. I want to look back on it and see the interest in it. I want to recognize the fun, the potential that kids will have with these things. Honestly, I don't see it. I can see the gimmick and what they're trying to do, right? But the transformations aren't fun. The whole point of Transformers was to have fun with these things and have a bit of a puzzle and figure it out. For me, anyway, these don't appear to be fun to transform.
It needs a play set. When we were kids, we had the USS Flag. We need a USS Flag scaled arc for these. For every Transformers line that comes out, we need an arc play set.
I never had a flag.
I don't know who you were as a kid, but the flag was a myth. That I was
using
saw.
The general we that it existed.
They really need to bring back the Micromaster bases, like that concept where you can have a base with a toy that can join with another base to make a bigger play set.
Mm-hmm.
You didn't have Castle Grayskull or anything?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but nobody had a flag.
Great. Oh, my neighbors all had a flag.
Who had the room?
Jesus.
Adam Goldberg had a flag.
I never had a flag.
God, you are so close from being kicked off the show by our shareholder, Jeremy.
I wasn't friends with Adam Goldberg. Don't yell at me.
This is the part in the recording where Mike's like, I have to edit this out. Why did you have to talk, Yoshi? You guys were going at such a good clip.
All right, I guess you got any other comments on these guys?
Not really.
Yeah. All right, well, that wraps up our toy topics this week, so let's move on to some trips to the store. This is where we show off all the awesome Transformers stuff we got this week. We do this as a video that we show on YouTube, so you can see all our purchases as well as listen to us describe them. But we will still have the audio right here in the show, so keep listening. But pop over to that YouTube video to check them out in glorious high definition. So without further ado, trips to the store.
Transmissions wouldn't be what it is today without the awesome support of our listeners. If you'd like to support our shows and enjoy the exclusive benefits that our donors get, please visit transmissionspodcast.com/support.
Yoshi, I'm going to start with you because I didn't pick an order ahead of time.
Yeah, you didn't ask what we had, so you may have just made a colossal mistake by having me go first.
I'm willing to take that risk. Let's see what you got.
Guys, I found Bludgeon.
Nice.
I haven't seen anybody talk about Bludgeon. I picked up Bludgeon. Daryl, I think I have something of value here because they put the wrong name on the box. This is one of those misprints. I fucking, in about 5 weeks, this is going to be worth about $83, and I'm hanging on to it for that.
What name is on the box for those who can't see it?
It's Quintus Prime?
Yes, because he's a Prime Master.
Yeah.
Legend is the decoy suit.
They fucked this up, guys.
See, I know him as Dildo Prime. Quintus Prime is his American name.
I can't believe they screwed that up. I also have a mislabeled, but this is Octopus Man. Who goes
Soulless
by
Prime.
Soulless Prime.
With the decoy suit of Octo Punch.
We all knew that, Charles. Thank you.
Not the people who aren't watching the video. The people who are listening don't know.
I want to see a third-party Octopunch named Octopus Man.
So yeah, these guys showed up this week. I really like this one. I don't know why. There's just something cool about them. So I had to get them, and then I was like, "Fuck!" They mislabeled Bludgeon, so I had to get that. And yeah, I don't know.
You gonna open them?
Well, if they're gonna jump up in value, no.
That Bludgeon you probably want to keep sealed, and
Right.
in a few years put it on eBay.
What are we calling this? Is this Charles Complete? Okay, so this is I don't know if I'm gonna open them up. I'll probably open them at some point, but right now I'm keeping them Charles Complete.
You should open up Octopus Man.
Yeah,
Have you played with any of those yet? The
No.
Pretenders?
I have.
They're neat little. Nice use of the Pretender gimmick.
Yeah, I still think these cost too much for what they are, but
There's a neat a neat repo label set for Octopus
everybody's
Man.
telling
that
me to
gives
get
him a-
swooped, so I come home with this.
Gives him a face.
That's
Oh,
you can
that's
do that with
cool.
Sharpie. You can do that with Sharpie. I mean, they left it a flat surface. You can do that, like 2 dots and a smiley face, or you can do the Nirvana squiggle face.
You can do the Watchman.
You can do the Watchman sideways face. So yeah, I don't know. It's really cool. I do love the detail on these guys.
Do the Doomsday Clock.
Stop hogging my time, Jeremy. Yake. That's all I got, Charles.
All right, I think I'll go next because I only have one thing. All right, I got so. It is not open because it is the Starscream Christmas ornament from this year, the Hallmark Christmas ornament.
Nice.
These guys showed up right around TFCon in July, so my store had one, got it, and I'm happy. That continues to complete my collection thanks to DJ Ronan getting me the Optimus Prime at TFCon, so now I've got all of them with this Starscream here. That's all I got this week. Merry Christmas to me. Jeremy, why don't you go next?
All right. It's a comic week for me. I have the Bumblebee movie prequel, issue 2. The Living Headlights.
And board that motherfucker.
I just pulled them out of the bag from the comic shop from Wednesday. I haven't had a chance to read any comics this week. I have The Lost Light number 21 with, who did this?
Jack.
Jack Lawrence. Yeah. So most of the cast looking up in surprise. I have Unicron number 2 by Alex Milne. So I don't know if I've read this yet. I think I have, but I'm way behind on all my books. That is all I got this week.
All right, Daryl, take us home.
All right. Well, I did a little bit of a tweet out this week because I hadn't shown this guy off yet and talked about him, but I did get him before TFCon. This is Optimal Optimus. He's Power of the Prime's Optimal Optimus. He's pretty good, I guess. He's got the majority of Optimus Primal hanging out on his back there, so that's kind of interesting. He's got the matrix of Primology just fell out of his fucking chest there.
The Matrix of Primology. Very nice.
He went to university to get that.
The future of an entire race is on Daryl's floor.
There he goes. It's a Prime thing. But
You
the
wouldn't
one
understand.
yeah. So the one thing that people were really kind of pointed out to me when I tweet out these pictures is his gun and the way he holds it is kind of fucked up. He's just got a peg, and I'll show it with the other hand, actually, because it's a little easier. He's just got a peg on the inside of his thumb there, and that's it. That's how he holds it. There's nothing on the inside of his hands. There's stuff there, but nothing to hold a gun on. So all you're supposed to do is peg the gun onto the thumb, or just tear the thumb off. It comes off very easily, actually. And then there's nothing. Like, I mean, that's the gun. There's two of them here, actually. So I put that down. So there's two here for, like, when you're got Optimus Primal, you can combine them here for the big gun. And then, people were tweeting back at me, like, why don't you actually make him hold the gun like a real thing, And I was like, it doesn't fucking hold, man. I mean, I'm not like a mental case here.
You could have him hold that and just like bludgeon people with the gun. Yeah,
that would work, actually. He could hold it like a stick. Yeah, he could. But it's not a gun at that point. Can do that here.
Daryl, I'm going to concur with you. That's fucked up.
It is. So, I mean, he's got it as a stick. So anyway, as far as the whole figure goes, it's pretty decent. I did take a second look at that DNA Designs add-on kit for him, because there's a bunch of stuff getting added onto him to make him look a little bit more beefy and a little bit more Optimal Optimus E, and they don't do anything for the hands. So the thing that people were complaining about there is not covered. They add some stuff to the feet. They add some stuff to make them, like, give them wheels and give them some more chunk to kind of fill them out a bit, but nothing to fix the hands. So that's interesting, kind of. So take a look at that. I wanted to show these off. These were gifts, completely gifts. For when I went to TFCon, I made some deals with people, and they just threw in things on their own, and they kind of matched up. It was weird. So I showed off earlier in a couple of weeks ago that I got a figure from the Duggernaut, and he included a world's smallest thrust.
Nice.
These are cool. These world's smallest figures. So been messing around with world's smallest thrust here. And he's neat. He actually even gave me his instructions. I'm like, oh, I think I know how to fix him, but that's cool.
He transforms exactly like the G1 toy, which is awesome.
Yeah, and but he's pretty cool. I like this guy. He looks great. And then I made a deal with one of our donatrions, Anchor, and he sent the stuff to Charles, and he sent me some world's smallest stuff as well. So world's smallest Megatron.
Aww.
Which is kind of fun.
That looks so lethal.
It is.
Don't bring that into the U.S.
Baby's first firearm.
World's smallest Optimus. The animation colors there.
That doesn't come with the cab, does it? Or the trailer?
No, but I have one already.
I think they made a trailer later.
Yeah. And this is world's smallest Prowl.
Nice.
World's smallest Dick. Dickhead. He's a dickhead.
Did they make the world's smallest Prowlistator?
No. That'd be cool, though. So, yeah. So, 2 different deals with 2 different people, and I got a whole bunch of world's smallest guys. It's fucking cool.
I want to get back into some of those, because
those great, are really... eh? They're fun. So, the deal that I did with Peralton, or Anchor, as he's known on in real life, was parts for a G1 figure that I've just been having hard time finding parts for, and it's my G1 Roadbuster. So I've been putting together a G1 Roadbuster, and he's getting really close to being done, and I'm really excited about it. One of the parts that I was able to get from Anchor was the radar dish for the gun there. That's really hard to find. I got one of the handlebars on the back, so I still need to get that handlebar for this side, and then the antenna that's supposed to go on the back of the backpack, that's apparently impossible to find. Yeah, I think there's missiles for this thing. Really? There's 6 missiles or something like that, maybe 4. I really only need 1 just to have it, poking out the end, but that's about it. He looks great, though. So eventually when I'm done, I'll get a whole set of repo labels for him and be done with him. And then the last thing I wanted to show off was something I did buy at the show itself. And this is a complete, and this figure I had as a kid and I loved it. This is a G1 Slam Dance. And Ooh. I loved the G1 Slam Dance.
Good toy.
Yeah. So what a great figure this was. The red tape turns into a tank. The blue tape turns into a jet. And they combine together to turn into a figure. And then they just armors the shit out of the whole figure with like 5 fucking guns. It's great. Yeah. So what a great figure this thing is. Cost me $70, but it was it's fully complete. So I'm pretty happy with it. But yeah, I expected that. You see a lot of them with, the figure is just the tapes, and you got to find the guns. This thing has all 5 guns. I don't have to worry about finding them anywhere. So that was important to me. I knew that if I was going to buy it, I was going to buy it complete. And so I'm pretty happy about that. That's about it. I think I'm good for this week. That's it. Back to you, Charles.
Does that conclude your entire TFCon haul?
No.
Okay.
All right, we're back from our trips to the store, and let's finish up the show with some feedback.
Thank you, Charles. And if you want to leave us feedback on the show, please head over to transmissionspodcast.com/feedback. There you will be presented with a multitude of ways you can leave us feedback. We like feedback in all forms. And today we are going to jump into email, where Donatreon Paul sent us a message. And Paul writes, in episode 283, Jeremy says that Wheeljack from Transformers Prime is not the G1 scientist that he was, which is very true, but he's still a tinker. He kept the jackhammer spaceworthy. Tuned up Ultra Magnus's ship engines, and helped Raphael build the flying tracker thing. Who's Raphael?
The younger kid.
Oh, okay.
The red bandana Ninja Turtle?
That's what I was thinking, but I'm like, they had a crossover? I guess they had a crossover.
They called him Raph in the show.
So he has the core concept, but adds the Wrecker's twist. Damn, I love Wheeljack from Prime. P.S. Big C, I got an Outback to hang out with my cup.
Nice. That's a reference to the review of Spotlight Cup we did.
Oh, okay, cool.
Awesome. Months ago. I do like Wheeljack from Prime, but I still think he's a different character. His base personality is not the mad scientist or engineer that Wheeljack was from G1. He's a bruiser, a brute guy who has a little bit of, mechanic skills, but he's not like, I think of Wheeljack the scientist as like the thinker and the tinkerer and the engineer.
He would prefer to be in the lab than be fighting.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, I want to say that I think Paul is right over Charles, only because, Charles, Paul gives me money and you don't give me shit.
Well, Charles does give you shit.
Yeah, well.
That's all I give you.
Sometimes I get to drive Charles to TFCon. He allows me to do that for him. Thank you, Paul. Appreciate the email. Thanks for taking the time. Send us another one. Now we are going to go to, we're going to hit the feedback from our last episode where Karuba left us a message. The blue Encore Big Convoy looks cool, no pun intended, but the asking price per Big Bad Toy Store is way too high at over $80. All the same, I would like one, but I guess if I want a fair price, then I will have to wait for the secondhand market or a KO to be made, preferably oversized and in the Ultra Magnus color scheme. I do not feel bad for getting the first MP release of Wheeljack after seeing the new animation colored model, although I would if they came out with a version that had all the cigarette brand decals on it, which probably makes me an outlier. I don't know. I mean, that bugs me too that MP figure doesn't have the original ads on it, but I guess it's the best we're going to get, right, guys?
Well, yeah, I mean, we went through that whole.
Yeah, I don't remember us talking about the cigarette ads, but does I can't remember. Does Toy Hacks offer the original stickers for this with the cigarette ads?
They offer a modified version, I believe, right, Daryl?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like it's to the line of legally appropriate and not get sued.
Sure. And Karuba finishes off by saying, and I know this is weird to say, but if Toys Alliance is going to make a sound wave big enough to hold cassette tapes, then why not come out with a Perceptor big enough to be a functional microscope? You know, Jeremy, your wife's a scientist.
Mm-hmm.
Should they do that? And would she use this at work?
Well, she wouldn't use that work because she uses like more expensive microscopes than I can even conceive of.
Uh-huh.
But she would have it on her desk because I got her a G1 reissue Perceptor, and she has that on her desk right now.
Gotcha.
She wouldn't know how to transform it because she can't transform the G1. But, you know, every so often someone walks in and is like, wait, is that microscope a transformer?
You know, I think the quick and dirty answer to your question, Karuba, is just cost.
Yeah.
I think it's just going to cost a lot.
Well, the lenses, I mean, the glass is the most important part. I want to comment on that big convoy thing he mentioned.
Sure.
I think $80 is probably right around what it should cost with how unique the item is. And it's probably not going to be a huge run. And having the club version, I think I paid more than $80 for that same mold, you know, slightly remolded. I mean, Daryl, what do you think? I mean, it's a big toy. There's a lot of plastic. There's a lot of rubber in it because like the trunk of the animal mode is all rubber.
I think 80's a decent price for it. I mean, I've never handled the mold. I don't have an opinion on how it is, but from all intents and purposes, it's basically almost masterpiece quality. So I highly doubt you'll actually get an official masterpiece, but when it comes to Big Convoy, then that's your best. Then I would assume that for something that's been so limited, $80 isn't that bad of a deal.
All right.
And the G1 Perceptor is a functioning microscope.
Yeah, like 2x.
Still.
You know, but I remember as a kid having like a microscope playset that was better than Perceptor. I mean, I wonder if it's really that much of an effort to put legit lenses in there.
That's probably all you need to do.
Yeah.
Have a third-party add-on kit that swaps out the plastic lenses for glass ones.
You can do it, Karubo. I got faith in you.
Yeah.
But thank you, sir, for your feedback. I really appreciate it. It's nice to hear from our listeners. Lastly, we have a voicemail from a Dinobot Maximize. Why don't you roll that tape, Jeremy?
Hey guys, your loyal Dinobot Dinobot here. I've had a couple of questions from you from your last voicemail. I'd like to ask you guys, would you like to see a third-party company do a series of figures from the Dreamwave comics? But what I mean is would you like to see some of the Transformers G.I. Joe crossover event they did be made, like the G.I. Joe as Optimus Prime as the Cobra his tank, and some of the other Autobots who are Cobra vehicles be made. Would you like to see some of those done? I mean, we've seen them as just the vehicles, but not transformable. Would you also like to see a company do some Action Masters, where we have like a deluxe size figure made and then even bigger vehicles for that figure? Also, guys, when you guys do the giveaway, will you guys be doing that live on Discord, or would you do it on your own when let us not here, so it'd be more enthralling for us? And lastly, guys, will you guys do those videos I asked you to do about your collections? Will we see those? Keep up the great work, guys, and hopefully talk to you on another episode where some more feedback. Talk to y'all later. Have a great show.
All right. Thank you very much for that, Dinobot. Let me see if I can remember the questions. DW Transformers G.I. Joe crossover figures. Would we want those, gentlemen? Daryl?
Personally, I don't. The G.I. Joe brand is is on life support, if at all. And I think basically putting any more effort into G.I. Joe is almost like throwing money away. The best thing right now would be to throw anything at Star Wars Transformers and trying to integrate that. But that's just in toy form. I don't think there'd be any fiction to support it.
I really doubt a third party would make a anything Star Wars vehicle related.
Yeah,
because you're just asking for the Disney lawyers to come after you.
Of course, no. It'd be it'd all have to be mainline. But there's potential there. I mean, you have the 3 3/4-inch figures that could fit in a larger carrier that could transform into a bigger figure kind of thing. But yeah, I don't think G.I. Joe is a dead brand.
All right. What do you think, Charles?
I mean, I still would. It would be interesting to see what they do with Cobra vehicles and Transformers. I mean, I don't think I would be interested in buying them, but I'd be interested to see what designs they could, like if they took those Dreamwave designs and made them real. But I mean, I don't have a huge interest in G.I. Joe. I mean, yeah, currently G.I. Joe is not doing too well, but you never say never. I mean, Transformers wasn't doing too well in the early 90s, and it bounced back. So
right,
we'll see.
I haven't read those books yet. Are they any good? Is the storyline any good?
Yeah.
All right.
I mean, it wasn't my favorite. I mean, so it got a little, like, some of the later ones got kind of out there and wacky, which was in kind of a good way. But in general, I was not a fan. But that's just my opinion.
Right. What do you think, Jeremy?
I think it'd be neat. I mean, something like the Hiss Tank or the Rattler. I mean, well, I guess we've had the Rattler with a recent Power Glide remold, but like the Hiss Tank is pretty iconic. The Sky Striker. I mean, the G.I. Joe had pretty neat vehicles, and I would love to see some of those as Transformers. But I mean, like Daryl said, the line's on life support, so it's something I would think we're not going to see, but it would be fun.
I'm going to be the odd man out and say I don't see why we wouldn't see that at some point. Especially something like that, I would think as a convention exclusive would be pretty popular. But that's just me. I haven't read the series. I don't know how terrible it is. But I like that idea of the crossover, honestly. I think there's a lot of potential there for a good story. Let's see. The next question was what? It was to do with the contest giveaway, Jeremy. Are we going to do that live on show? Are we going to wait till the show goes live before anybody hears it? What's the game plan?
I assumed we were doing it live. We've done all the monthly drawings live.
I kind of assumed so, but you know what they say about assuming.
I mean, we're going to be asking my Amazon lady in the box, and we'll be all random, and you can blame Jeff Bezos if you have a problem with it.
The question is Yoshi going to be there for it live? That's one question.
I don't know.
We'll see if he's fired after this week.
That's right. What was the other question he had?
He wants to see us do collection videos.
Oh, yeah, man. I don't know about you guys, but I'd have to set some shit up just because my room's not in collection show-off order.
Yeah, I mean, not all of us are like Daryl.
Right. Daryl could do one, and he should certainly do one. Revive that channel of yours, Daryl.
Oh, it's not that.
Isn't there already a video on the Facebook, on our Facebook page that Daryl did?
Is there?
Facebook Live video?
Were you testing it?
That was a while ago. I got a whole new setup since then. Got like 3 more detolfs.
I like that idea, and I'm adding that to my to-do list to tackle that at some point, at least for me. But yeah, I think a lot of this is just we'd kind of need a time where our houses were empty, where we could lay some stuff out too.
I have to clean the room.
To clean the room with families around, that does make it difficult.
And he also asked about Action Master third-party figures, if you'd be interested in that. Not really.
Yeah. Action Masters, I mean, I would prefer the little things like we mentioned earlier in the show, the little die-cast things. But in terms of like a mainline deluxe class figure, no.
We got a Croc.
But he transforms.
Yeah.
He has to leave him in robot mode, never transform.
Break out the super glue.
Well, I think that was it for questions. Thank you so much, Dinobot. Really appreciate the voicemail. It's really cool to hear you. And for anybody else, if you want to leave us a voicemail like Dinobot did, head on over to transmissionspodcast.com/feedback and do your thing, because we like answering questions. And I think that's it for feedback this week, Charles.
All right, and that will do it for this episode of Transmissions. Thanks, everyone, for listening, and we will see you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Later.
Thanks for listening to Transmissions. Remember, you can help support the show by donating to us directly via Patreon or PayPal. Once you become a donor, you will receive access to donor-only goodies, like donor-only contests, listening to us record transmissions live, and getting transmissions swag at 20% off. You can find links for this at transmissionspodcast.com/support. Subscribing to us on Stitcher, iTunes, and Google Play is also a great way to support us here at Transmissions. Every subscription we get helps us get better noticed on those services. Leaving us a comment and 5-star review doesn't hurt either. Be sure to come chat with us on Discord. You will find a link for Discord at transmissionspodcast.com/Discord. And of course, you can always send us an email at feedback@transmissionspodcast.com. Thank you all for listening, and we'll see you again next week.
We need that dollar.
Yeah, DJ, you can blame whoever you want. At the end of the day, I don't have money in my hands from you. And yours, I look forward to the most, especially when it doesn't arrive.
Is Wayne Brady going to have to choke a bitch?
Whoa. That's a damn shame. I was looking forward to you winning something. My daughter likes me to make voices with my hands. And she asks, what's this guy's name? And I go, oh, it's Mr. Hand. Well, what's the other one's name? Think about it for a minute. It's Lefty Five Fingers. I want to hear Little of Moose and Squirrel.
You will hear Moose and Squirrel. Yeah. I mean, it's not good, but
it's an 8. I'd say it's an 8 out of 10.
It'd probably be better if I had like an actual script or something to say.
Well, wait, now put your hands beside your head.
I did.
What? We just got a new Patreon. Lefty Five Fingers.
I think I've just predicted the winner of our contest, everybody. Yeah. You're gonna start hitting the gym here soon and lifting weights. You're gonna be a dream.
Settle down, Yoshi. I'm taken.
No, I need you to come to TFCon Chicago. You shouldn't give me any credit because I was in there. I should have done the alt mode too, and I fucking didn't.
All right, credit revoked.
I try so hard. I guess it's just you and me, Octopussy Man. We're gonna have to figure out everything.
Oh, now he's an Octopussy Man.
Yeah, I know. I was thinking that when we were signing out of Skype. I'm like, that was a better name. The blue Encore Big Convoy looks too, no pun intended. Oh, looks cool. No pun intended. Well, I fucked that up. We're going to start over, Mike. Cut, rewind. Again, if you want to leave us feedback, head on over to transmissionspodcast.com/.
You skip the voicemail.
Dinobot, I have offended you and your family. I will offer you my head.
Just do the voicemail now.
I know I'm going to. I'm just resetting my brain. I'm just